Thunder, 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 Thundercats! Ho!
Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time. Yes, the most wonderful time. Oh, the most wonderful time of the year.
Yo, we are live back again here for the third time that we have our special guest. I want to introduce myself. My name is Chronoz, and I have with me, we got Ryan Drayson. What's going on, dude?
Hey, everyone. Merry Christmas. How's it going?
And we got Justin.
What's going on, everybody? Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
We got Geek.
What's good, interweb?
We got the mashed potato dude.
Hey, how's it going? Happy holidays.
DJC.
What's going on? Great to be here again.
And just joined us, we got my buddy Jim. What's going on, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
And our special guest here is, of course, Ian Petrella. What's going on, man?
Woo!
Good to see you all again.
I appreciate you giving us the opportunity, to come on for the third year in a row, and it's definitely a great time to start off the holidays, December in. So thank you so much for that. So we can grill you and ask you questions and see how things are going and have a good time today.
Definitely.
So I'll ask you something real quick. And go ahead.
When I was here last, was that before or after the sequel?
Right after it was, I think, yeah, because it was in November when it came out, right?
So.
December, we had you like close to Christmas. Real
Okay,
close.
all right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we going to talk about that for the third time? So,
Yeah, so I'm thinking I got some new guys here, and hope we can get something new. And I do have
whatever. We always find our way.
Yeah, do a little rewind and kind of thing, and going to hopefully get. I got some questions from the ladies who couldn't show up, who got sick, and so either way, I'll start off real quick. So let's see, a little history rewind. Tell us how a lot of this started for you. When you, let's say, got the quick call to be in A Christmas Story as a young boy.
What was that?
Hey, if you can give us a rewind and just kind of how everything started when you first started, got the role for A Christmas Story in 1983.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I was a child actor, so I started at age 3, and it was just a routine audition that you go out for. Your agent calls you up and says they're casting for a holiday film. You'll be reading for the part of the brother. That's all we know. So you go meet the casting director. There's about like maybe 50 other kids also auditioning. I remember at the time I had 2 friends they were brothers, and they were both auditioning for the role of Ralphie, and the little brother was auditioning for the role of Randy. Now, does everybody remember a show called Small Wonder?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The kid who played Jamie was auditioning. He was a friend of mine growing up. He was auditioning for Randy or Ralphie. They were both there, and so I just went in, and there really weren't any lines. They just wanted to know your personality and I guess your look, and that was it. And then I got a call back, and then they sent me to a third callback, and that's where you met the producer and the director. And the director said, "Tell you what, we're going to fly you up to Boston, do a screen test, and then we'll decide from there." So I went up to Boston, did a screen test, and he said, "You're our Randy. Congratulations." I was like, "Cool, first movie as a kid." So
Nice.
Must have been very exciting.
So, and 40 years later, I get to do a sequel. So,
Yeah, how did that feel when you got the call to do that? Like, you didn't expect it, or were you expecting it to happen?
I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't even expecting them to do a sequel. Everybody kept saying, "Why don't they do a sequel? Bring all you guys back. Bring Ralphie." Like, we haven't spoken to him in like 20 years. We don't. He doesn't really. He's busy now. Why would he want to do this? And then a friend of mine sent me a link from the Hollywood Reporter saying that they're making a sequel, and Peter Billingsley is going to be starring in it. That's how I found out there was going to be a sequel. And I said, "Okay, that's cool." I'm assuming because this was in January, and they were going to start production in February. So I figured at that point they had already casted everybody. So I figured whoever's playing Randy, maybe they went with more bigger name people. Like, I don't know, maybe they hired Jonah Hill now to play Randy instead of bring a little star power on it. Yeah. It was also executive producer Vince Vaughn. So that's a pretty heavy name to be attached to the movie. And then I get an email from one of the producers saying, "We're going to bring everybody back. We'd like to play Kiedis, who's the director, would like to do a Zoom call with you." And we did, and then next thing you know, I had to audition. So only because they just needed to see what I could do. Could I even act anymore? Because there was not anything to go by. And I got the part. So again, I got the part of Randy. I don't know who I beat out. I don't think I beat out anybody. So
at this point, go ahead. Sorry.
And then I told him, I said, "Oh, you're all set to head up to Bulgaria to film." And I said, "I don't have a passport. I got to get my passport." I said, "No problem. We'll take care of that for you." But the thing is, they had to expedite the passport because it takes months to get a passport. If you do it, you get a passport, you just wait. I needed this thing in like 3 weeks. And when I told him, I said, I need it soon. And the price to expedite a passport was $900.
Jeez.
So if you want to get a passport, just get it now. Don't wait. But I didn't have to pay for it. I had the studios pay for it. So that was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and then, we did the sequel. And like I said, it was one of those things you never really thought that it was going to happen. And here it is. So it all kind of seems just like a weird dream. And I always tell people, it's like, that's why I'm not a betting man. Because if somebody would have bet me, said, "I'll bet you in 2022 they're going to make a sequel," I would have said, "No, they're not. Here's all my money." I would have lost. So, but it was, you would think that doing the part would probably be very simple and easy. But to me, it was actually one of the most difficult parts to do. Because here you have this character from 1983. We all know what he does. And then now he's older. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, how can I bring something from, the one from 1983, even just a slight bit of personality to add to this? And none of the scenes or the scene that I was in led up to anything. So I was like really struggling, how to, try and, fit little nuances in that people will go, "Oh yeah, see that's totally Randy right there." So at one point it was just, I just had them just, you just tell me how you want me to say the line because I can't think of anything right now. So But there's little things in there. Maybe some people picked up on. But I don't know. Like when he's sitting at the edge of the bed, and he slams the phone and pouts. I was trying to do the pouty face for him. Stuff like that.
Yeah, you look pretty sad.
It did. It did. That was pretty funny.
I do have a follow-up question for you, Mike. Was that your first time traveling international?
No.
Okay.
No. I went on I went backpacking in Europe like years prior to that. So I did have a passport. It just expired. So that's why I needed to get a new one.
And like that's what I was thinking. I'm like, but like how awesome if that was the first time like just leaving the States and like going to film. Like that would have been probably even crazier.
For some of the cast, it was their first time leaving soil of this continent and going. And but for me, it's like no. In fact, that was actually my second time in Bulgaria, so I'd been there before.
Oh, nice.
Kind of like this is great, but yeah, I'd be like to go somewhere else. Maybe just a country I haven't been, because there's such a difference between traveling when you're there as a dirty backpacker, traveling around in worn out boots, and everyone's just kicking you to the side. So when you show up and you're part of a $30 million production that's bringing jobs to all the Bulgarians out there, they love you. So, but
Okay, Ian, knowing that you're at the 40th anniversary, with the 1983 film, how does it feel to be a part of one of the greatest, I think, in my opinion, one of the greatest Christmas movies, and just having to do that again, meeting up with your guys again? I see that you guys are kind of traveling, going to different spots, and doing get-togethers like the one that is coming up in Indiana.
No, we're doing Pittsburgh is next.
Yeah, Pittsburgh and then Indiana.
Yeah. And then we're going to Indiana. So we just did Cleveland, and it's mixed emotions really when you think about it, because there was a whole 20-year gap that nothing happened with this film. Like this, I don't know if there's nobody. I don't want to say nobody cared, but it was just something. It was almost more like hipster, just to like. It's just the movie you knew, and that was it. Now all of a sudden it's kind of, rising up and more people are taking notice of it. And it wasn't until the 20th anniversary that we started going out and doing all these signings and appearances. And so it's wonderful, but there's two trains of thought that I have with it. One is, it's great. But there's a part of you that goes, where the hell were you guys when this movie came out? This is when you could have this stuff, right. To get more work. And that's what you're hoping for. But then there's the idea that you put yourself totally aside and go, it's not about you, it's about the movie. The movie is what's popular, that's what people love, and that's what people are always thinking about. So you appreciate that fact. And that's you appreciate the fact that people still love the movie and that it is getting, I guess you could say it's getting the second life. Although I see Christmas Vacation coming around the corner to take the title very, very soon. But it is nice to at least see that. So you see people that still love the movie, they still honor it, they still call it a tradition. So you got to take yourself out of it. And like I always say, some people say, how does it feel to be famous? And I say, I'm not actually famous. I don't consider myself famous. I'm in a famous movie, but I don't consider myself famous. So, because I can go walk into any store and nobody knows who I am.
Let's move forward. I do want to ask Jim, do you have a question for Ian?
Oh, wow. Jump right to me, huh?
Yeah, why did I put you on the spot?
I'm sorry. I've been sick the last week. I ended up getting COVID. We were at the Kiss concert on Saturday down in Indianapolis, and I've been sick all week. So I told him I'd come on just so I could meet you and say hi. And And I was 13 when your movie came out, and I grew up in the video business. My dad had the first video stores in Illinois and Wisconsin, 1978. So growing up in the video store, you know, we were before Blockbuster and anybody else. So it was kind of cool. I remember when your movie came on video, and it was just it's just a cool experience growing up, and it's just a great family movie. And I know you talked about like Christmas Vacation. Yeah, that's a great Christmas movie, but yours is more of a family orientated Christmas movie, you know. So
Yeah, I think with the the newer generation though, they're that's more like slapstick comedy, wacky feel. So, but it's funny that you mentioned video cassettes. I remember when I lived in Granada Hills, and there was a video store, and we knew the owner. It was another, just small video store right next to a Domino's Pizza. And we knew the owner. He was really nice. And then he found out that I was in the movie. And I was about maybe 12 or 13 at the time. And so, like I said, it was one of those, like, people knew it, but it wasn't on their list of, like, all-time favorite movies. But when they saw it, they liked it, or they loved it. And so he's like, hey, he pulls off the VHS, and it's just the cover with the styrofoam block inside that you bring up to give you the actual. And he's like, hey, would you sign this? And I go, yeah, sure. So I autographed it. That was my first autograph, I think, really ever. So I always wondered, like, what happened to that video?
I'm surprised they didn't have you come in the store and do like a whole Christmas meet people and meet and greet and.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that it was just, he just thought it was cool that an actor that was in a movie that he rents out was in his store, and that was it. So
well, he blew that chance.
Yeah. Now he probably sold that thing on eBay somewhere. So who knows?
Yeah, who knows exactly. But no, that's cool. It's neat. It's neat to talk to you, and I know you don't think that you're famous, but you're in a room of guys that, to us, you're famous. So don't get close up on me, man. That was terrible.
Let's see if there's any tears on you. Are you getting teary?
Terrible, man.
Appreciate it, but it's just something I also tell myself is to try and stay humble, about it.
No, that's good. That's good. That's cool. That's cool, man. No, I just retired 6 months ago too. So.
Oh. From what?
I was a police officer for 25 years.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
So it was time to get out of there, and now I get sick. But there you go.
I hope you feel better, man.
Yeah.
Happy retirement.
No, thank you. No, I appreciate it.
Sure. And thank you for your service. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
You have any other questions that you want to go on to, or if you think of one later on, or
if anything pops up, I'll throw it out there. As long as I don't fall, just don't let me fall asleep over. I'm dying.
Oh, sorry, man. Geek, what do you got for us?
Well, I had a couple questions. You guys already basically answered them, so I'm gonna go to my my trump card questions here. It just so happened that when Chronoz invited me for the podcast, I was like looking up 80s commercials and stuff just to have them for videos and stuff that I edit. So my question to you, Ian, is: do you have a favorite 80s commercial?
Just in general, or one
just
that
in general? Just in general.
A lot of 80s commercials. You might have even seen me. So, wow. Favorite 80s commercial.
First thing that comes to your head, like
the first
push, pop,
What comes to my head is whenever they announce a new Star Wars toy.
Yeah.
That was always a thing. And I remember I had it saved on my phone, an 80s commercial. I wasn't in it, but I got into wasn't a horrific argument with a millennial one time, but I had said the word AT-AT, and they said, it's not an AT-AT. It's an AT-AT. You're full of shit. So, Empire Strikes Back, 80s toy commercial, new from Kenner, the new AT-AT. I go, see? That's what it is. It's so
That is true.
So yeah, I definitely those. I mean, and I'm trying to think like what else commercials, but yeah, any of the toy commercials. I did one. I did the Dukes of Hazzard Power Cycle toy. So that's actually on YouTube. You can find it. So
Was that like the big wheel or the? Oh man, I always wanted one of those.
Yeah.
that was the year they introduced the spin out brake. So
Yeah, the side brake.
yeah.
Oh.
You can spin out. So
I got my Dukes of Hazzard mug right here.
there you go. So yeah, but I mean, oh man, and I'll do that too. Like I'll watch like those old, like on YouTube, they just have a catalog of like all the 80s, and I'll watch like all the toys.
Yep.
I had that. I wanted that.
It's Teddy Roxman. It's Teddy Roxman.
I never had one of those.
I got one at a yard sale once. That's how I got it. Like 10, 15 years after nobody cared about Teddy Roxman.
I just wanted to get
collectible now.
Right?
You put a cassette tape in its back, and then that's where. But I wanted to know. I always wanted to know. Is like if you put in like Metallica, what would it do?
See, I heard it only works like with the tapes they make because they put these little subtle sounds or something to make it to where he moves with it. Because I can't remember. It's been such a long time, but I remember having a friend that I think tried something like that or tried to record his own voice saying like nasty stuff or whatever and pop it in, but he wouldn't move to it. It'll play the tape, but he wouldn't move or something.
Oh man, we should crack that code.
Yeah, right. Make a fortune.
See, is that anything else for you, Geek?
For now, that's you guys answer most of my questions.
I do.
But that's cool. If I think of anything, just I'll raise my hand. And like come back.
I do want to touch base. I do want to touch base for the next person. Is Ian? How was Halloween
this year?
Yeah,
boring.
Boring. Were you being a little aggressive with some of the adults? This is why I'm asking.
There you go. Cheese and crackers. Don't you have any candy? Candy's bad for your teeth. Oh boy, what do I get? Tofu burger? You'll thank me when you don't have any cavities. We will not. Our father's a dentist. You're putting him in the poorhouse. Oh, you're such a funny boy.
Where did you find that?
I searched it out. I just found it, and I wanted to ask you. Tell me about that.
That's Highway to Heaven, and it was an episode called "I Was a Middle-Aged Werewolf," and it was Michael Landon doing a play on "I Was a Teenage." He turned into a werewolf on that episode, and I was just a trick-or-treater. So that was my second job as a trick-or-treater. Actually, I did another. Oh, yeah, on a show called My Sister Sam, I played a trick-or-treater.
Yeah, it said on the when I searched it, the role they called you, it said big kid. I'm like, big kid. I was like, okay, that's. I was like, what? Okay, yeah, that was I still have the other one later on. I try to search for more, and it's just some of them are in Amazon Prime. Some of the other things I would find I have to get a membership for this, and I was like, man, this is a lot. And either way, the only other one I got was the one for Chips. The one that you've done with was that Eric Estrada when you had that one episode with the
I just
remember that one.
I just saw him at Chiller. He was
really?
Him and Larry Wilcox were there, and so I was like, I gotta go say hi to him. And so I walked up to him, and he was in his full Highway Patrol outfit. He had the badge, he had the helmet, on the table. And I said, Mr. Estrada, I know you don't remember me, but I said, do you remember this one line? Speaks puppies for sale. And he's like, I go, okay, I'll explain. So I told him, and maybe he remembered or he didn't, but he was at least really nice about it. Like, oh yeah, hey, good to see you, good to see you. So, we were talking. I had on this flannel, and for some reason, he was just really taken by this flannel. And he was like, "That's a nice flannel you got. You know, where'd you?" I'm like, "I got it at Walmart." I almost just want to give it to him, like, here. But no, he was really nice. And then when I was with Zach, and we were on the same flight together with RD. So we were at the airport, and I'm walking around, and there's Eric Estrada also at the airport. The only thing is, he's still in his cop uniform.
Wow.
What's wrong with that?
That's funny.
His TV
It's still a character.
And
He's trying to get a discount.
I think what he did is he went straight from Schiller to the airport, so we didn't have time to take it off. But no, we saw him, and once again, we just hung out with him again the whole time. So it's a really nice guy, and he still looks the same, exactly. You know, see, bastard.
A quick rewind, so you guys who didn't see it, real quick, right here.
Puppies for sale? Anyone want to buy a puppy? Real puppy from outer space? Anyone want to buy a puppy?
Hey, son, come over here. Watch yourself crossing the street. Come on. How much?
$5.
$5 for a space puppy?
$4.
Now it's $4?
You could have them for free. My dad says he'll drown them.
Oh, no. I think $5 is a very fair price.
You do?
Absolutely. Here you are. There. The puppy. Oh, boy. Thank you.
Wait a minute, I gotta tell you something. He really isn't from outer space.
No kidding. You could have fooled me.
I like the line, "My dad will drown him."
Right.
I just like the cardboard sign you had, and instead of it's being spelled sail like SALE, it was sail as in sailboat. SAIL.
It's
So just
the product of the failed LA Unified School District.
Right.
Justin, what do you got for us?
Oh, I think he's muted.
Hey, Justin, dude.
I am on mute. Shoot, yeah. I muted myself because I got my air conditioner blowing in the background. Yeah, y'all already answered most of the stuff that I asked. Like you know, when everything was going on, I guess you know, I just from me to you because this is my first time meeting you. What's something that you're passionate about?
One of the things I'm very passionate about, and I've been working very, very long hours to build is puppeteering. So I'm in the process of building at least 5 puppets right now for a future project. And it's, you know, it's sometimes it can be like trying to solve algebra, you know, if you're, you know, you can look at a puppet. These are mainly more like Henson style, you know, Muppets, but it's just a certain way you gotta, you know, cut the foam and, you know, lay the fabric and try and figure out where the, you know, the creases are going to go and everything. And sometimes it's one of those things where, like, I'll show you a quick example. So everything that you have to do for this one character, this is going to be a turtle. So you can kind of get the idea of, you know, the head. But when you lay, you know, this isn't even the fleece. This is just to make the pattern. So you want to try and get everything to look somewhat what it's going to look like once it's done. And you don't really know until you actually start sewing. And then once you finish sewing, you go, look like shit. You gotta take it off your shit, do it all over again. So it's if it wasn't a passion, I wouldn't care. So that's the passion is, I guess, getting it done right, or at least to where you're happy enough to do it.
So I guess my follow-up question is like, after you, like, if you ever came to the conclusion like, oh, like this is shit, how much time did you already like contribute towards what you're already doing?
I mean, that can vary. Sometimes it could be days, sometimes it could be months.
Okay.
Because sometimes you just go, you know what, I'm not going to do this right now. You put it down and you pick up the next thing and you work on that. It's a little easier. And then you go, okay, you know. But the main thing, ultimately, I mean, something like this isn't going to cost that much money to make. This is and this material right here, this isn't even the actual material. This is just stuff you use to make a pattern. I got the real stuff boxes back there that I haven't even touched yet because it's way more expensive than this. But that's the other thing is you want to watch the budget. You know, something that could only cost maybe $200 to make complete. Once you start getting into the $1,000 range, you got to stop and do something. It's like you can rethink. I haven't gotten there yet. You know, I always allow for a little bit extra, you know, mess ups and everything. But, you know, once you budget something out, you know, I did a job for a buddy of mine for his music video. I made 3 puppets and he had a budget of $500. So I was able to get 3 puppets done, fairly decent looking for $500. You know, I fudged a lot of stuff to make it look, you know, use different materials, designed them in a certain way that I knew that you can do it on the cheap, but they would still look good. Where if he said, I want them to look exactly like all the people in the music video, I'm like, then you're not going to get it for $500. It's going to cost way more than $500. So I was able to, you know, reuse a lot of patterns for each puppet. So that also really saved a lot of money right there, because you only had to make one pattern and you can make 3 different heads, you know, almost at the same price. So that cut down. But ultimately, I think, you know, $500 was the budget, but I think I went over to like almost $800 total spending. But I told him, I said, since you're my friend, I'm not going to charge you for fuck ups. I'm just going to charge you for what I use. So I used $500.
Cool.
That's awesome.
How long have you been doing it for?
I got back into it around, say, probably like around 2013. Is because I had gotten out of it for a long time because it was just too much money, you know, to worry about. All the, you know, the material costs were just, you know, I just didn't have the money. So I had to, you know, look into something else. But I love doing it so much. So once, you know, I started looking back into it, and you realize that, you know, the pricing of foam and the pricing of material is so much cheaper now. It's not as much money as it used to be. And it really depends on what you want to do. So, I mean, if you're getting into something heavy like, you know, Rick Baker or Tom Savini, you know, style, yeah, you're looking at, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars, those materials alone. But if you're trying to build Kermit, you know, that's no big deal. So now it's just, you know, and I one of the things that I realized is that when it came to doing, you know, puppeteering, you know, I was always kind of felt more like a session musician where I just got hired, you know, to play a part and play an instrument, where now I'm actually going, let's write your own album, you know. So now I'm coming up with characters that I'm thinking of. I'm going to do the voices, because I've never done a voice for a puppet my entire life. I've just been the hand. I just, you know, work the cables or the strings. And now I'm actually going to do something where it's actually me and have a character that could stand on its own and possibly, you know, have its own show, either way. So that's what I'm looking at. Nothing is really in the final stages to even show off right now. So, and then of course with the move, everything's got to be put on hold slightly. So maybe
Ew.
next year when I'm
Dude,
back.
that's awesome, dude. Like,
We can talk more about it. Yeah.
to be able to like be like so passionate about it, and like the fact that in 2013 the cost of materials just went down, and like you can actually like turn this into something and like still have like so much fun doing it. Like that's amazing. Like I know a lot of people who are jealous of you right now.
Of what?
Of being able to have like fun, just so much fun doing it, and being able to like make money from it as well, and like being able to like showcase it, and like being able to get respect for it is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I mean it's nice, but at the same time it's difficult, because then it's like, well, then what do you do with it? And now thank God now we have things like YouTube and TikTok.
Yep.
Because you don't have to pitch something to a network anymore. You can do your own show. And that's really where I'm going to head in the direction, is just do that. And then if something catches on, then I can go ahead and say, all right, let's pitch something to a network. I just don't feel comfortable walking in and saying, here's my idea. And they're like, no. And then somebody steal it, or somebody,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So if you have I wish I had YouTube so long ago. I'm jealous of everybody who's just like, oh, this has always been around. It's like, no, it wasn't.
Right?
It hasn't even been around that long.
Was it the mid 2000s?
It's like I would have killed for AOL.
Yeah. This is a fairly new concept, these
People making livings off of it too. It's unbelievable.
Right. My friends in high school, we had a VHS camera and we film ourselves doing stupid shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Never made any money off of it. We never did anything except sit around and watch ourselves act like idiots.
the ones you had to hold up.
You still have them?
It was big ones.
Some of them I do, yeah. They're somewhere.
You always put them back. People would like to see
I
them.
don't want them out. So, but yeah, so it's like, people say, it's like, oh, Justin said, it's like, oh, there's a lot of people who are jealous. It's like, I'm jealous of the people that have kind of were born into this, and it's like, this was just right there for them, But,
I feel like, because like when YouTube came out, like I was still like a high school and teenager, but at the same time, like the access and availability and the tools that you needed to make those videos, upload those videos, that stuff wasn't available to me. And like by the time like I felt like it became more available, everybody was already big doing their thing. And like I'm like, so I feel you on that part.
Yeah. I remember when the Star Wars kid first came.
Yes.
Who knows the Star Wars kid?
I do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Give it right there.
That was on some weird site. I forgot what it was called, like Squid something or other. It wasn't even YouTube at the time.
That's how it all started.
Yeah, and just watching it and everything. So now it's
I'm like, I am looking this up right now, actually.
Star Wars kid?
It's really old.
Yeah.
Did he have like a lightsaber and he was going crazy with a lightsaber or something?
No,
he had like a staff or something like that.
A golf ball retriever. Like when you use a golf ball.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I always thought it was just some like just random ball. I didn't know it was a golf ball retriever.
He was a kid out of like Quebec or Montreal, and videotaped himself trying to do Darth Maul moves right after Phantom Menace. And he was a broadcasting student, and some of the kids found it. Were like, "Oh, this is hilarious!" And they put it up online, and he got humiliated. I mean, he had to drop out of school. He had to go through therapy.
Damn.
It was, but now I guess the thing is he ended up like going to law school and like becoming like a lawyer. So he's and there was this whole petition because Attack of the Clones was just coming out, and everybody felt so bad for this kid that they signed a petition to send to George Lucas to put him in Attack of the Clones, even just as a small part. Just have him like with a lightsaber, and Lucas wouldn't do it.
What?
So I was really hoping that would have been justice right there.
Yeah. Well,
that would have been nice.
And then you end up in your Jedi gear.
Yeah.
When was the video originally made?
Say what?
When was the video originally made?
2002, I saw.
Like, because Attack of the Clones, that was like 2002, so it predates that?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was after episode 1, right?
Exactly, because he was doing the Darth Maul stuff.
Darth Maul stuff.
Honestly, I thought that video came out like when YouTube started becoming a thing in like the mid to late 2000s, but I didn't know it predated it.
I remember seeing it because I think like it came out. Like obviously he did it right after Phantom Menace, and that was like the late 90s. Phantom Menace. And then he did it, but I'm sure it took a while before his friends figured out how do we humiliate him. Oh look, now we can do it. Go ahead, load it up. So maybe it was, around that time, but still.
To piggyback off what you guys said, what I'm heard about is I was born in '82, so I'm like right in the cusp of everything, and I always look now, and girls and women are into anime and nerddom and geekdom. Like I was a black dude that like anime and reading games, RPGs in the 90s, so I didn't get that much play either. Like like. I was almost like one of those, you always look back on was that everybody hates Chris or the guy who liked Star Wars and liked all these different in Dragon Ball. Yeah. Now they're cosplaying as it, and it's cool. Like,
it's the coolest to be a nerd right now.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just looking back like that hurts. Just okay.
I know.
80.
It's definitely an effect of just like nerd culture in general. Just like especially with the internet becoming a huge thing in like the 90s and further on, more people find out, hey, I like this random weird thing. Oh, I like this random weird thing too. So then they start communicating, then they start doing conventions, and then more people join in, and then here we are today with nerd culture being referenced in like everything being brought up. Everybody's into it.
Yeah. Well, look at Stranger Things.
Yeah,
I love Stranger Things.
Yeah.
That was
D&D.
that was
I was playing D&D when you were born, 82.
Thank you for saying that, because normally, I'm always the triple OG around, and I start talking about something like NES, and people are looking at me like my favorite Nintendo was the Wii, and I'm like, it's not the same though.
Well, am I the oldest? I'm 53, so I must be the oldest.
I'm right behind you.
48.
I'm 48. So
I'm in my
43.
30s,
so
I think I'm the youngest. I'm like 23.
We played Dungeons and Dragons growing up in the 80s, and my kid had me watch Stranger Things, and I didn't think I'd like it. I loved it, and now I'm back to collect all my D&D stuff that I used to have, because we used to play in the early 90s, and my friend got a divorce, and his wife threw everything away. So now I've been going and finding it. Now I got loads of it again. So
that's nice.
Cool. That's great.
Cool. DJC, you know what? Do we want to do I was going to put out a quick message I was going to talk about real quick, and then the mashed potato contest, and then we'll go on with the questions that maybe DJC has. Mashed potato dude, Ryan, and any final questions afterwards. You guys want to go into that?
However you want to do it, man. Yeah.
Okay, so make sure. Any quick question you want to go, DJC, or should we get straight to it?
I had one quick, and I was wondering if you were going to actually show the clip, whatever. But I saw that you did an episode of Different Strokes.
Yes.
And then years later did 90210. So if you could talk about what that experience was like.
Different Strokes. We'll start with that. Now, Different Strokes, that was basically when the show was just coming to an end. Like Gary Coleman wasn't even on the show anymore. Just because he just had a lot of health issues. He had a quick guest spot on that one. He was there, and then they said he was off to Philadelphia, to go on a school trip. So he was barely on it. So, and then that's when they brought in Danny Cooksey. So he was the new kid. He was the little redheaded kid.
I remember Sam, right? Was it Sam? Yeah.
So it was him, and it was the scene where he was he's having trouble with a bully. And it was this actor by the name of Carl Stevens, who actually he just passed away not too long ago. I didn't even know that. And he also played young Spock in The Search for Spock. So
wow,
that was him.
Great movie too. Great movie.
He was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He was the kid who traded the cookies for the lawnmower machine. That kid. So he was the bully, and then it was me, and it was, it was an interesting experience. It was just a show, but there wasn't really anybody there except for Conrad Baines and Todd Bridges.
Sup, Saturn?
So it?
No, sorry, I was saying sup to Leticia. He's saying hello. She was supposed to be on with us, but she has the flu.
Oh, okay. Well, feel better, Leticia.
Yeah, I got the flu. I got COVID. Jeez.
No, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, and then 90210 was
classic. Love 90210.
That was like one of the last television shows that I did for a while. And it was just one line. I don't know if anybody saw it. And it was the scene where the Brian Austin Green's character's dad was starting to date Jenny Garth's character's mom.
Oh wow.
And so she had this nightmare about what it would be like if they were stepbrother and stepsister. And it was Dave, because this is when David, now he's like this huge like hockey playing stud, but back then, he was this skinny little geek.
Oh yeah, he was a scrawny little like radio dude that was
That's at the time, now he's it's like breaking in half. And so she had this horrible like dream sequence where me and all of his geek friends are going through her room, and I pull out a pair of her panties and pull out the camera and make some reference like, "Oh man, I bet these will, we can sell these at the auction." And then she comes in and goes, "Give me those," and kicks us out of the room. So,
it's a pretty epic part, man.
And but you know what? Everybody who I met was super nice. Brian was super cool. Because I was sitting in my dressing room and he walks by. I had the door open. He stops, looks in. He's like, "Oh hey, are you Ian?" And I go, "Yeah." He's like, "Hi, I'm Brian. We're going to be in the scene together. Nice to meet you, man." I was like, "Oh, cool." Because this is, it was a show. It was kind of like at its peak.
Yeah.
It was just becoming the most popular thing. So, all these kids had, every reason to be just like, I'm king shit of the world. I'm on 210. And then I'm in the room and there's Jenny Garth and they have her, they're blocking the shot and they go, "Jenny, could you stand next to Ian?" And she stands right. She looks and goes, "Hi, how you doing? I'm Jenny." I'm like, "Ian, yes, I know who you are." So, and everybody was really nice and super cool. So, it was a great experience.
It's crazy because I believe with their class was, I think, the class of '93 when they graduated. That was the same. So they were basically like mirroring my my high school class. So it was such a cool thing. Everybody watched that at the time. Well, maybe not everybody. I was probably a nerd for even watching it, but everybody was like my girlfriend at the time was obsessed with it, and it was just such a huge thing. So that's so cool. You got to be part of that.
I was in high school still when I was on the show.
Yeah.
And so I thought, this is going to be sweet.
Yeah.
I'm on the hottest show on television.
What
And
year was it? What year was it when you were on there?
it must have been like 92, 91, 92.
Yeah, because it started in 90. Because I went from 90 to what, 98,
Yeah.
99?
So, because I graduated in 93.
Yeah, same
So
here.
I know I went to school and I told everybody, you know, that I, you know, they knew I was an actor. And they said, you know, I said, yeah, I was just on 90210. They're like, oh my God, really? What episode? And I told them, and it was the one episode that nobody saw. Nobody can give a shit that I was on Beverly Hills in high school. They just could not.
Dude, I can't wait to see. I gotta check that out. It's got to be on one of the streaming services.
Only it was the internet thing. See?
The episode
Well,
is made again.
to everybody.
Okay.
But one of the things I'm most proud of that nobody really knows is when I got to play Michelangelo on an episode of Ninja Turtles meets the Power Rangers.
Yes,
nice.
I think
Yeah.
you were. I
Remember
think
that
you
one.
mentioned that on a previous year we did this. You were mentioning that.
Last
I
year,
forgot
yeah.
what it was specifically was, but it was.
That's so cool,
It was
though.
meets the Power
Tell us
Rangers.
about it.
Yeah. So this was late 90s. And the Turtles, they had their own show called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Next Mutation. And that's where they introduced that there was a fifth turtle. They had a sister named Venus. And it's the one show that has been forgotten. Like I always forget their name, but the original creators of the Turtles hates this show. They're like, this doesn't even count.
Wow.
It wasn't that long, it felt.
But they didn't like it, so they did a crossover episode because they were produced by the same company, Saban Entertainment.
Yeah.
They did a crossover episode where the Turtles meet Power Rangers. And this is when they were doing the Power Rangers space dates. And so the Turtle show was filmed in Vancouver, Canada, but they had to bring them down to California to work with the Power Rangers because that was shot here in California. So they hired new puppeteers. So they hired me. I did all the animatronics for Michelangelo. And it was the company that built them was called the Kyoto Brothers. And they had done a lot of work. They're most famous for Killer Clowns in Outer Space. That was their main thing.
Oh, beautiful.
Wow. What a great movie.
So great.
Created all those characters. And the puppets were, I mean, they were amazing because, you know, back when they first did the movie, Henson did the puppets. And they were all like, each part was like separated. So you had one person doing the mouth, one person would do the eyes, everything. This was all on one controlled joystick. So you can control everything all at once. So it took some use to getting, you know, you had to get used to it.
Yeah.
So like, the lever would go up and down, that moved the jaw. Then there's a twist that would put like a smile or a frown. And then there's like a button and that would, articulate the lips. So you had, to get all this stuff down. And then this one would control, left to right would do the eyes up and down. And then, there would be a thumb for blinks. And then the twist would be for the eyebrows. So you had to figure out, all these different.
Wow. That is a lot.
It's a lot to work with. And it would have been great if they would have given us a lot of time to practice. Just showed up. And they would block the scenes out with the stunt guys. And then they would throw the heads on and go, and action. So if you flubbed the line, they were just like, and cut, moving on. We're like, wait, no. I didn't even move. I forgot to move. What's going on? Let's do it again. So give us like maybe 3 or 4 takes, but that was it. And I asked them, I said, look, is there any possible way that I could just sit off to the side and practice? I have the lines. And I just practice and get them down. And they said, no, you can't because we don't, the batteries die just like that. So we got to save battery power. You didn't bring more batteries.
Right, all of it. Yeah, one job.
The first thing you think of is you bring more batteries just in case. So yeah, we never got to practice.
Charger.
Yeah, we never got to practice, and everything was just all kind of last minute. So it's like you watch the show and like none of the mouths move up. You know, they match the dialogue, and I'm sure the actors that had to do all the voice were probably just that this person. So it would be like playing a manual video game. This is exactly Veronica.
Yeah.
And so
But once again, you got to practice on a video game to get it down, and then you get it.
So, and so the actors that had to probably do all the voicing, they had to come back and like, we got to redo all the voices, plus nothing matches up, so we got to rewrite all the lines and all the dialogue. And like, if you just would have brought another freaking battery,
right?
We could have saved you some time. So.
Wow. Hey, Chronoz, I gotta roll. I just want to thank you for letting me come on here.
Hey, thank you for coming on.
All you guys, nice meeting everybody. This is cool. I've never done this before. Thank you for being part of the movie that every year it's on 24 hours. So, and I guess one question for me to you is,
yes,
we know what we watch at Christmas time. What do you like to watch at Christmas time?
Good question.
I'll give you two answers. One, I'm not even really that big of a Christmas guy, to believe it or not. But when you watch something, it's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original.
Yeah.
Boris Karloff, not the Jim Carrey one. So that's one of my favorite Christmas movies. So.
Cool. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Well, thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Have a good night, Jim.
Have a good night,
Jim. Nice meeting you.
Feel better.
Nice meeting everybody. All right. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
DJ, was anything you wanted to finish up before we get into the next phase here?
No, go ahead. Let's get into it, man. We got potato.
You good, Ian? Were you trying to say something, or
who, me?
You good? Or for now? Okay. All right. I wanted to add in something little here. You guys noticed that my friend Veronica Hernandez was texting or made a comment just now. I've known her for many years, since the high school days. We used to go get comic books together after school, etc. Then either way, something that's kind of like a message I'm saying is that it's some where is my page here? Oh, here it is. Like, let's say the world is going through stress, and every corner of the world something is happening, like war, suffering. Even myself, I'm going through some things in life where sometimes I need lifting. And that's where, speaking of my friend, Widow Divine Phrases is something she created that that's kind of helps me for my everyday. And I use, like, they're inspirational cards. So just something I wanted to showcase real quick and just kind of show what I do every day. I look at it's a stack of 55 inspirational cards, and I just kind of it inspires me through my everyday. Just kind of look through them. So I want to show this quick clip here. And I want to say thank you to Veronica for, helping me out, because it does help me out for my everyday. If you guys have any questions, her information is in the description if you guys would like to have it set yourself. So let's see, where's my video? So real quick, I'm going to play this, and then we'll go right into the mashed potato eating contest. Where is? Oh, here it is.
Wisdom and knowledge have been a part of us from the beginning of time. They have slowly been uncovered with our growth and evolution. But what are they? They are simple phrases that help us grow as self, as a group, and as humankind. These phrases, full of all the great vibes from the divine, have been created and shared to help you shine your inner light. Wheel of Divine Phrases is a tool to start your day in the best possible way. There are 55 inspirational cards that would help you create a better version of yourself. You are the creator of your own reality. Every thought, every word, and every emotion manifests into what is now your present. May you be inspired by these phrases from the divine. They are here to help, guide, and inspire you to live a life knowing who you truly are. Pure love.
So I wanted to just share that for you guys, and it got me a little emotional there. It's something I just put together.
I
Just
know
kind
a lot
of
of people that could use that. Might as well give me your number.
say it again. Sorry.
I said I know a lot of people that could probably use those. So
Yeah, it's just kind of, yeah, it helps out, my everyday kind of. In the description, her information is there if you want to talk to her, look, ask her questions, and how can you get these inspirational cards. So
Also, guys, I just checked out her TikTok and her Instagram. Definitely give her a follow as well. She definitely has some inspirational quotes on there. Yeah, definitely. I checked out a couple of them. I gave her a follow myself, and you guys should also check her out. I think it was ve.hdz was her handle on both. So yeah, go ahead and check her out.
or if I don't, if she contacts me, then I'll, I can go back. So yeah, I'll get a couple. I can give some of those. I know some people that could use them. It's because they're not listening to me. So
cool. Let me see. Hold on. Someone commenting. Oh, here she goes. Glad I haven't showed her. I was gonna show it to her a few days ago. I was like, no, you're gonna wait till the day of, and then you're gonna see it for the first time in the video. So real quick, I said again, thank you, Veronica, and we'll chat soon. Now, let's get into. Hold on, where is it at? We're right at the part where we gotta do this.
How do the little piggies go? That's right. Oink, oink. Now, show me how the piggies eat. This is your trough. Show me how the piggies eat. Be a good boy. Show Mommy how the piggies eat.
How you feeling about it, Ian?
Shining moment.
You remember that?
I do.
Guys, DJ Game Studio, and Potato Guy, you guys got your stuff ready? I'm getting mine ready right now.
I need like 2 minutes.
Go ahead, do it. Go ahead, do it right now.
I just gotta go grab my.
I went a little crazy with look how thick this meatloaf is. Like giant quarter pounder patties or something. I don't half pound pat. I don't know. Oh, I'm dripping it.
So who's all participating?
I am DJ C and the mashed potato dude. Anyone else want to? You guys got potatoes at home?
I already ate.
Mash them up real quick.
Let me tell you what Thanksgiving did to me. Now that I'm out here near my parents, my stomach was not feeling right after I ate all that food.
I can't eat like I used to.
Ian, real quick while we're waiting, I'm going to be actually at the Indiana one. I'm going to be there on the 17th, so I get to say what's up to you for the first time, maybe take a photo with you. So who's competing in the mashed potato eating contest from the group?
I don't know what you're talking about.
They said on the flyer that I read, because when I went on there, I did the free, how do you say, the link's actually in the description for anyone who lives local around the Chicago area, Indiana, where you can click on there and you can sign up to go and meet up, with the 40th anniversary that's happening. And then they They even had a section there to you pay $10 to so that I could enter in the mastering contest with whoever else pays for it, and it said with the cast. I'm like, is the cast going to be part of it?
He's like,
Is
nope.
Ian going to do it? I'm like,
That's news to me.
like, it's got to be Ian.
I haven't heard shit, and I'll tell you. So I'm doing it. Indiana's got a whole other
You're like, I do it once a lifetime. That's it.
I did it once. That's it.
They expired it. Shut up and leave me alone.
All right, when we get started, hey guys, don't forget.
like I said, that's news. I know they were doing a contest, and me and Yano, who played Grover Dill, were judging it. But as far as being like an actual participant, I'm like, if it's going to be anybody, then maybe it's Yano.
Yano probably. Yeah, because I know he's kind of he's the one doing the Facebook group, the family, Christopher family. Yeah.
So yeah, he's like, definitely like he tried to buy the house, and unfortunately it didn't happen. So
is that what you guys wanted to do? Was he wanted to do that, right? Or everyone?
But it went up for sale.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So somebody else, it went to somebody else. This guy Joshua Dickerson, and he's been working with the house for years. So, he's now, I guess, one of the official owners. So congratulations to him, and I wish him the best of luck. I knew him back in the day. He's a really cool guy. So I got
good. I saw that come up on like Yahoo News recently about how he acquired the house or bought the house. I should say.
He's got a stake in it, is what they call it. So I don't know exactly what that means, but he's basically going to be running the house. So, but it would have been nice to see Yano, get it or have, because he's out of every single one of us. I mean, he's just totally embraced this whole film and has just emerged his life into this legacy alive. And, God bless him for doing it, because I'm not gonna.
What's up, Katetsu? Katetsu was with us last time.
Katetsu.
Yo.
Let's see. Real quick. Let me see real quick what you got in your plate. I gotta zoom in real quick. We got mashed potatoes.
It's just straight mashed potatoes. I didn't have a lot of time to prep, but
okay.
I really hope that this year we're not competing for the best presentation, because I've already lost.
Then for DJ Game Studios, let's see.
I got a lot of stuff on here. I tried to have more gravy and then ketchup, but it kind of all melded together in one big gluey.
Ketchup? You said ketchup? Okay.
Ketchup.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be on like it doesn't really matter. It's okay. No.
I wanted to
meatloaf, but then we decided to just have fried chicken instead. I was like, oh, well, there goes my plans. So I just
all right, let me show you what I got. I'm gonna just kind of zoom in and get down here.
Oh damn, look at that. Man, you got a pile.
Yeah.
Let me take off my glasses.
Too much food. You need to.
I wanted to do a little bit something more creative.
Those leftovers.
Dude,
all right, guys, I'm gonna be creative here.
No.
What is that?
No, are those snow caps?
What are you doing?
Wow.
Wanted to get more creative.
Oh no! What is this? Elf?
Pulling a Buddy the Elf.
Yeah.
and a few more.
No.
Wow. Okay.
I swear,
Dude,
if I
he
see you
throws
pull out
maple
like
syrup
chocolate
on that,
sauce,
I'm gonna freak out. Like,
yeah, I was about to say, if I see the chocolate sauce, I'm done.
So,
Wow.
I just hold on. I just wanted to just, I don't know. I guess I was watching Elf the other day. Maybe that inspired me.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't want to mess up this hat because I got to wear it on the 17th.
I'll take it off.
Yeah, that's it. You got time. You got time to wash it, brother. It's 2 weeks away.
Hey.
Okay, hold on.
Mr.
All right,
Switch, I just want to let you know I took a video of what you just did to your food.
Awesome. Hold on, let me get this out of the way. This thing's
also, I apologize, Chronoz.
Yeah. Something's in the way real quick on my screen. Let me just get it out of the way. Okay, well, I can't get out. It doesn't. You guys are good. Has the stream been going really good? Like no, I say no blurry, nothing going slow on your side. Everyone, no. Yeah, because I was worried about my internet access or my sometimes I it would log me off and you guys would keep going and I have to jump back in. All right, I got my glasses on. All right, so we're gonna eat this and be creative or however we want. So, who's gonna time it and how many seconds? We're doing a minute.
It's gonna be epic.
You want to do a minute?
We can do a minute, and you ask for it. Okay.
You want me to time it?
Okay, sure. Yeah, and then you just damn. What is? Oh, there we go. Finally got that out. I wish I can. I'm gonna try to get closer so that I'll get closer to your screen, guys. If you that way they can see more of what you guys are doing. I'm nervous.
You should be with everything.
Yeah.
There's no way that tastes good.
I really hope you don't have any plans tomorrow morning, bro, because you're gonna.
I actually do. I'm going to Chicago on a Christmas train with my son.
All right, so
Well, you better hit up the doctors before.
All right, he's
I
ready.
got a lot of water
1
here.
minute.
Okay, let it know when you're ready, and guys, just go for it. Ian, when you're ready.
all right, so we'll do it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh shit.
Go.
Oh, it's so much meat.
It's kind of gross.
Really?
We can't see you, Chronoz.
Terrible.
There we go.
All right, 30 seconds.
Oh, my nose.
I'm gonna choke. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, stop. Wait, wipe yourselves off.
I didn't even bring a napkin.
Yeah, I got to clean those nostrils real quick.
Yeah, I got to take a drink for
This is totally normal.
DJC,
They need to drink.
I think I got a marshmallow in my nostril.
Those are beard struggles, man. Like I feel that. Like I feel that to the core.
Oh, this is gonna be.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going right in the shower after this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so bad.
It's like the moment you get sauce in it, it's like if you have a lot of beard, you're pretty much ruined for the day.
Yeah, it was literally just mopping it up.
I have to get the rest of it out later on.
Oh, only one piece of corn and one drip on the floor. That was it.
You gotta stop eating. You're done. He's still eating. What is he doing?
I you know what? Stuffing potatoes in my dishes made me realize I'm actually kind of hungry.
Stop it.
Oh yeah. Sorry, you gotta look at my plate.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna give Costco some advertisement, but if y'all want some good mashed potatoes, Costco.
All right.
All right. I don't think I can get the rest of this off. All right, so go ahead, do the honors.
Dude, let me see. Hold your a little closer. Okay, not bad, not bad. All right, DJC.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, damn, that one. Oh, that's pretty awesome.
I smeared it. I just smeared it.
Yeah, he just moved it around with his face. That's
When I was trying to eat the mashed potatoes and the candy and the chocolate came in my mouth, I was actually kind of gagging it out.
no kidding.
Well, I would expect that.
I couldn't. It tasted good. It got sweet, and then.
All right, so DJC, hold your plate up one more time.
So I got
and mashed potatoes.
corn.
Hold your plate up one more time.
There.
This is such a tough call.
What makes it tougher is that everybody had a different amount of food on their plate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to make overly mashed potatoes just to go to waste.
Yeah. I don't know.
DJC had an entire meal. He had an entire meal.
Bro had a whole piece of meat in his mouth.
Yeah, he had a big piece of meat.
No, he meant it because he had such. It was
and corn.
Yeah, it was just potatoes. He just mopped that all up. So, and I don't know. Let's do this. Show of hands, Chronoz. All right. AC.
Yeah.
2 for DJC. Oh, we got 3. And show of hands.
I was supposed to hold my hand?
Can we vote again?
Yeah, fine.
This is too hard, man. I can't do this right now.
Wait, am I supposed to vote? Because
everybody.
Okay.
Everyone gets a vote.
I can vote for myself.
So show everybody. Show of hands for Chronoz.
Oh.
1, 2. I see 2. All right.
I don't know if I'm. Yeah, I guess
that wasn't my hand wave. That was me giving him a thumbs down.
You were giving a thumbs down. All right. So then one. All right. Show of hands for DJC. 1, 2.
So we can vote for ourselves. I'll vote for myself.
Yeah, you can vote for yourself.
Not vote for myself.
All right. Show of hands for mashed potato dude.
I'll give it.
1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a tie.
Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
DJC. And should we do a
Wait,
rock, paper,
wait,
scissors?
Ian, did you
You can eat
vote?
the last of it.
Did you vote?
I didn't vote
This
for the
guy
vote.
wins for the 3rd time in a row.
That's why I didn't vote, because I'm like, I don't know who to pick.
I was gonna say you're the vice president. You're the head of the Senate right now.
Should we do a
It's okay, man. I'm not taking it to heart. I'll see you soon.
do a death round between DJC and mashed potato?
Oh my gosh.
It's a lot of corn to eat.
You guys are all winners.
Wait, what's the
Y'all
chat
winners
saying?
tonight.
What's the chat saying?
Yeah, chat.
Matt, give us your vote.
Chat.
Anyone in the chat? Let's
Oh,
People that are lurking, put a name down there somewhere. We know you are.
Michael, guys, give us some votes. Wait, who's Michael, Katetsu? If you guys still watching, put some votes down for the 2 guys for DJC and Mashed Potato Dude.
Okay, got 1 to Jeff. Someone says Jeff.
1 DJC. 2 DJC.
2 DJCs. Okay, cool.
Right.
Damn, Veronica.
Literally
I'm actually
with
loving
whole
this.
towel.
The anticipation's just. I mean, everybody's saying.
Totally not biased.
I'm glad that we can. Everybody else
Mashed
can-
potato
We
dude.
still got time.
Right? Oh, this is close.
Kurt says I ate a meal. He's got the vote.
That's what I said, Kurt.
All right. I think I'm ready for a decision. And we're gonna have to go with DJC again. Once again,
Yes, Brian F too. Yes.
Move back to him.
he did have the
Now to
most
get you a
food on
belt.
his plate and consume the most food, and that was the idea. So
Congratulations.
I wanted to see
A small price.
That's what we wanted to see, and
I tried to, but I couldn't do it. I told myself eat it, but then I couldn't.
I couldn't believe you did that, man. I saw that. I was just like, oh,
It felt fun, like cool, but
I guess if we do
All right.
this next year, I gotta treat it not like the mashed potato eating contest. I gotta treat it like
eating like
a meal contest with mashed potatoes on it.
Well, I'll be
Because
I'll be
seems like
training
the trick is
for.
just not to use straight mashed potatoes.
you had the least on your plate, you were gonna win. And I was already called the winner. I was like, it's gonna be him. He's got the least on his plate, and so
Okay, eat everything. That 17th's coming up. I gotta do that. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not adding nothing else to it.
You have to eat before that, expand your stomach out, and then when the time comes, you don't feel full.
Well, in the movie, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken, it was mashed potatoes, meatloaf, and corn, right?
Red cabbage.
Oh, it was cabbage.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I gotta see that.
The whole joke of that scene was like the
Red
mom.
cabbage will not finish this contest. You might as well put the gummy bears and
Right? Yeah, it's better.
Oh, this is the most sourest thing on the planet. I mean, it's almost like sauerkraut. So.
Oh, sauerkraut. All right. Well, congratulations, DJC. You have conquered the world. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mashed Potato Dude, for
dying for a week now.
for joining us again on this. It's been great.
Thanks
Let's
for
see.
having me.
Who hasn't had DJC? Did you finish your questions or anything or Mashed
Yeah,
Potato?
yeah. I mean, let someone else ask because I asked.
Mashed Potato Dude, you haven't had your chance just yet. If you wanna.
Actually, guys, I do need to step off. Chronoz, I appreciate you inviting me here. Ian,
thank you.
Happy I can meet you. You got some good vibes, my guy. I love talking to you.
Oh, thank you. So we'll stay in contact. I'll have more Sacramento questions for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll be happy to try to answer them for you.
Thank you for coming down, Justin.
Contact me because I'm about to.
All right, bro.
Yeah. See, I'm talking. Geek, DJC, Mashed Potato Dude, Ryan. I'll talk to you guys all later.
Take care, man.
Take care. Good night.
Cheers.
Where is okay? All right, go ahead. If you got something for us, Mashed Potato Dude, what's questions do you have for Ian?
All right. So I think this is building off an earlier question someone else asked. I forget who it was. It was about Christmas movie, one that you would watch every year. But I want to know is like, what is your favorite movie? I don't know if this was a question that's been asked before, but
oh yeah, no, it's I mean, there's so many different movies. I mean, I'll say a favorite movie, but I also want to say that we like different movies for different things. We like different movies because of a writer. We like different movies because of a director. Maybe we're all into, I like, a lot of Terry Gilliam's movies. I was a big fan of him from Monty Python and then, Brazil and Time Bandits and stuff like that. He's one of my favorite directors. But, I love, Dan Aykroyd was one of my favorite actors. So Ghostbusters, Blues Brothers, all that. But I will say, if there was a movie that I had to pick that I could watch over and over and over and over again and not get bored, and would have to be This Is Spinal Tap.
Oh,
Spinal Tap, yeah,
is like my favorite movie. And
I haven't seen it yet. I've heard good things about it. I think I was gonna watch it pretty soon with my sister. She tells me that's the one with Michael McKean in it.
Yes.
Right?
How do you call it? What's the name again?
This Is Spinal Tap. It came out in the early '80s. It was with Christopher Guest and Michael McKean and Harry Shearer. They played the three band members, and Rob Reiner directed it. And it was a mockumentary about this made up rock band.
Yeah,
it was.
Okay, I remember now.
It was so good that when it came out, people actually thought it was a real band, and even bands saw it and they kind of hung their head in shame because they're like, "That's us. That's exactly what we are." So it's just as far as to watch a movie, and it was also one of those movies where they improv'd a lot of stuff. So they would go in and discuss the scene and say, okay, this is what's going to happen in the scene. And they would just improv it out because, Michael McKean, Christopher Guest, and Harry Shearer, I mean, they were all, just brilliant, comedians in improv. And those guys came from Second City. At least I know, Christopher Guest did, and I believe Michael McKean as well. But, and just the chemistry, between those three and everybody in that movie. It's just so, and it's just, if you're into rock and roll, it's definitely worth a watch. If you just like, if you're not into rock and roll and you think rock and roll is silly and ridiculous, it's definitely the movie for you to watch. So,
It's a movie for different people. People that like rock and roll and people that can't stand rock and roll.
exactly. Both people will find something, to embrace this movie.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't that then like there's like a whole series of movies like that, right? Like there's
there's a whole
those kind of mockumentary movies. I think there was one that what's the mom from Home Alone?
Yeah,
and that's all Christopher Guest.
Yeah, it's you got Mighty
There's
Wing.
one about like theater people, like a play.
Yeah, Waiting for Guffman.
Yes. Oh my God, great.
And then Best in Show.
Best in Show.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of.
And that's all. That's Christopher Guest. He directed all those, and he played Michael Tufnell in Spinal Tap. So that was kind of like almost like the pre that idea when he started doing those. So, but yeah, it's one of those, like I say, if you love rock and roll, you love the movie. If you think it's silly and ridiculous, you'll love the movie because that's what it does. It just makes fun of rock and roll. So,
I'm
sure I'll love it. I'm looking forward to watching
skeleton.
it.
My exact inner structure.
Yeah.
The green skeleton.
As a kid, and I thought it was a real band. And my
didn't they end up actually making some music because of that?
Oh, yeah.
They kind of capitalized on that.
It's on Spotify. You can pull it up.
Yeah. I'll have to pull it up after I see the movie.
And they're making a sequel. So they're making.
Oh, really?
That doesn't surprise me nowadays, though, honestly.
Dude, that'd be awesome. Especially that they're older is even funnier.
Yeah.
Because they're even more washed up. So great. I love it.
When Metallica came up with the Black Album, and they did their whole little documentary on that, and they were backstage waiting to go on to do a show, and both Michael, Chris, and Harry were dressed up as Spinal Tap, and they went backstage to Metallica, and Michael McKean, David St. Hubbins goes, "Hey Metallica, we've got a bone to pick with you. It's called Black Album Cover." Because they had the Black Album cover, and that was Spinal Tap.
Where did you come up with that, Metallica representatives?
That's great.
So great.
Let's see. Moving people around. Was there more questions that you had, Mashed Potato Dude?
Oh, there was another one. Oh, yes. Was there ever an audition that you, or something that you auditioned for in the past that was really noteworthy, but you didn't get it and you wish you'd gotten it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Quite a few.
Good question.
Number one, Great Outdoors.
Oh,
wow.
Great
really
movie.
wanted to get that one. There was, it's called Parenthood. That was with Steve
heard of
Martin.
that one.
Steve Martin.
And I got beat out by Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. Oh.
And then there was, Christmas Vacation.
Really?
I came very close.
Wow.
Christmas Vacation. And the only reason why I wanted those was because they were all, like my hero comedians. Outdoors was Dan Aykroyd and John Candy. Parenthood was Rick Moranis and Steve Martin. And then obviously, Christmas Vacation was Chevy Chase. I mean, these are all people that I was like, I just want to work and learn. So, will your puppets backpack travel around Europe like you did and enjoy both passions of yours? But technically that's already happened. When I was traveling backpacking, I took a marionette course in Prague on how to build and learn in the Czech Republic. And after the course, we got to travel to different little villages in the Czech Republic and do this folky little, puppet show for everybody. So it was totally cool at the time, to do. So yeah, I guess, your question. Yeah, Veronica, I kind of already did that. If I could do it again, great. I do have one character in mind that will involve traveling. So if I make it over to Europe with him, that'd be pretty awesome. I would love to do it. So I will let you.
Okay, is that good for you, mashed potato dude?
There was one more question I had.
Yeah, sure, go.
Hmm.
We can go back.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a quick question from Miss New, who's not able to be here.
Sure.
Let's see, what's your favorite season and why?
Fall, definitely. One of the things is, I mean, when you live in Los Angeles, California, the San Fernando Valley, you don't really get seasons. You get summer. I mean, it's just, let's see, the temperature right now, I'll tell you, it's a little windy outside. It's 64 degrees right now.
I wish it was like that here, man.
Yeah, right now it's at night. It's 7:30 at night. It's 64 degrees, and here we are in just December. So when you live in the Midwest, like I did for 10 years in Cleveland, you really get to understand what seasons really are, and definitely fall. And one of the reasons why is my dog Orwell at the time, he loved the cold. So, and he knew when the cold was going to happen. So anytime fall would come around, that's when he would get extra excited, because he had a lot of hair. He was a big, shepherd. So summer doesn't really play well with him. So as soon as it would start to cool down and you get to that fall area, and the leaves would change, he would just go ballistic. And then once winter came around and the snow, he was insane. He loved the snow. So he didn't care he never got cold. So whenever it would snow, I'd have to go outside, take him for a walk. Did not matter. So fall always became my favorite season, just because that's when you just see this dog just go crazy as soon as you let him outside. And we just start running around just because the air was nice and cool and didn't overheat. So yeah, that was always my favorite. Still to this
Okay, cool. Before I get to her next question, I had one that I wanted to ask you about. I'm going to show you a quick scene, and just how many times did it take you to shoot this, or how do you feel about it now? Still, real quick, right here.
Oh, preparing to go to school was like getting ready for extended deep sea diving.
It didn't take that long to do. In fact, I remember when we were doing it, and Bob just telling me, just don't do anything. Just lay there and live and let her do it. And so a lot of that grunting is partially her, actually trying to pick me up and do all this work. But then as an actress, you throw on top of that. So you use that. So, but yeah, it didn't take that long. So, I mean, we did all that and the whole, I can't put my arms down all in, one day. So.
Okay, thank you. The last question that Miss New had was, what holiday tradition, if any, that you like to do?
I don't really have any. I mean, there's nothing. I guess it depends on whose family I go over. If I go over to this family's house and they do a tradition, then I'll just, do whatever they're doing. But yeah, I don't really have anything that I sit down. It's like, okay, time to set the turkey on fire like we do every. It's just I don't have one.
Okay. So, all right. Ryan, the questions.
That's the other thing is like.
Okay.
The other thing is like, you always hear the joke like, oh, families always argue. We never argue. whoever we're with, we never argue. We always get along. Everything's fine. There's never an argument. Nobody's ever, gets upset. But yeah, maybe that's it. We just don't have any traditions, and it's like, we're just like, yep, we all share DNA. That's why we're here.
Thank you for that. Ryan, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and keep it fresh, having been on now 3 years. This is the 3rd year in a row talking with you. Thanks again for coming back. And I'm gonna try and lightning round it, I think, appropriately with what was just asked, and say, because I was gonna throw that in there, but we'll keep it to favorite holiday song, story, and memory.
Favorite holiday song? I don't know. I mean, it's a toss up. I mean, as far as like traditional Christmas music, I don't have one. I really can't stand Silent Night. That song is just so depressing.
Yeah, that is depressing.
I know what it's about the birth of our Lord, but when I was away in Cleveland, that's when I really started to get more depressed about holidays because I didn't have family out there and I was always by myself. And that one song, "I'll Be Home for Christmas," can go fuck itself.
Right.
Like, only in my dreams. Fuck off. That's
right.
Buy me a ticket or something. Right. Really, I don't really have like a favorite Christmas song, except for maybe the more contemporary ones.
Yeah.
Even though Bob Geldof hates it, yeah, I love that one. "Do They Know It's Christmas Time?" That's a great song.
The Band-Aid one?
The waitresses sing, "Merry Christmas, but I think I'll skip this one this year." That's a great Christmas song.
Yeah.
Run DMC, Hollis, Christmas in Hollis. I mean,
classic.
Those Christmas songs. I like the contemporary ones, but the traditional ones, I don't know. I'm not really. Some of them are okay, but like I said, I've never really got into them. As far as Christmas memory, oh man, I mean, there's been quite a bit. I think was the 1 year. Well, let's see. I remember this one. This one's really good. Is when I was a kid growing up, I really, really, really was like every kid loved Scooby-Doo, and they never made a whole lot of Scooby-Doo merchandise except for like T-shirts and that. But there were no toys. There was not like kids nowadays get action figures for everything. We didn't have all that. It was very limited. You had Star Wars, G.I. Joe, He-Man. That's what you had to choose from, if you wanted action figures. And so they didn't really make a whole lot. And I remember this one year, I'd gotten up super early. And I went out, I thought it was like morning, so I walked out, and there were my parents, and they were still wrapping up gifts. And they were like, "Oh shit, what do we do?" And they're like, told me, they're like, "Oh, you just scared Santa. He ran off." Oh, 8, I was like maybe 7. And they didn't wrap it yet, but over there they found it was a plush toy of Scooby-Doo. And I went crazy because I've never seen a Scooby-Doo toy, and I've just never seen it. And I was like, "Scooby," and they're like, "Here, take it and go back to bed." So, I took the Scooby-Doo and I went back to bed. And I guess that one is like, maybe it's not the greatest, but it's definitely the one I remember.
Wow.
My parents. And kind of discovering, I guess, this whole Santa Claus thing is not, But then it's like Scooby-Doo saves the day. They just are like, just go here, take it, and go back to bed. You're ruining Christmas. Get out of here.
Let me see.
Ryan had a follow up to that because it was
no, there's just the one other element to it was, do you have a favorite like a holiday story? And any of these, it doesn't have to be Christmas specifically. Like I know that's what we're thinking of now, but and because of the movie, but you can go with any holiday.
Like we talked about story. Because I guess if you say like a Christmas story, then I guess I would say How the Grinch Stole Christmas. You know, because that would kind of fall into story.
Yeah. I figured someone would ask you about like favorite movie or like something to do with the movie, and there is a pretty kind of like a good, clear, like the key picks for that. So I want to keep it broader than just a movie per se. But yeah, no, you can go with I mean, The Grinch is a good story.
No one's ever really, you know, that's another thing is like no one ever sat down and said, we're gonna all, you know, tell Christmas stories now. Which was the night before Christmas. And everyone's like, shut up. Shut video game. Shut your mouth. I hear that stuff. So yeah.
Was there anything else, Ryan? Did you want to?
No, I'm good for now.
Okay, let's go around to our some of our final let's say our questions, and let's see, Geek, you had something.
To piggyback a little bit off what everybody was saying so far, I think what I'll ask in closing, Ian, is what would be your dream or passion project that you would like to, just not counting money or circumstances, if you could just like today, this is what I want to do, what would that thing be?
I can't go into too much detail, but it's kind of what I'm working on right now.
Okay.
I am working. I want to do this one project. It does involve puppets, and it's basically a project. And getting back to the whole Christmas thing, remember, some of you may have done this, but you wanted something as a kid, and you've told your parents, like, if you just get me this one thing, I'll never ask for anything my entire life.
Yep.
And this one project, if I do this one project, I will never have to do anything. And it doesn't matter if I make a lot of money off of it.
Okay.
That's not the point. It's just to get this thing done. And just want to be able to do it. If it doesn't make it, doesn't become big, I don't care. I just want to do it. I just want to see it develop. I just want to see, the birth of it from going, from going from like one cell organism to multiple cell organisms and become a living, breathing thing that, walks the earth. And it's a movie that I want to do. And I came up with this idea back in 2013, and I was working at this company, and we were an outsourced company from DirecTV, where we did all the social media for them to try and get people. We were basically paid trolls, is what we were. And so I got into a huge argument with my manager. I mean, just, huge argument. And after that, I was just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? And I said, I'm so much, not that I'm trying, not that I want to sound like egotistical, but I was like, I myself am so much, I could do so much more. And that's not for everybody out there. That was for myself. Like, what am I doing to myself? You got to do this for yourself. You're not doing this for other people. And I came up with this idea, and I started to roll with it. And then things happened. I had to, just like, this is never going to work. And then just recently, I was like, you know what? It could work. It could work. It could work. It could work. And there's things that have been happening nowadays as far as movies go that I go, yes, this could work, and either A, I got to get this done soon, or let's see what happens with these two ideas, and then see what happens. But yeah, definitely, if I can get that done, I would be like, I'm done with the business. I don't need to do anything else ever again. I did everything that I wanted to do in one project. Fulfilled every single dream that I've ever wanted as far as this business goes. And then I just go on and move to an island and make art. Live
Cool.
off-
Sounds cool.
So, and I'm not married. I don't have a family. So I don't, no one is dependent on me.
Okay.
I could disappear.
Yeah, do you?
I understand.
Let me see. What is this? If it's driven by passion, flow.
It will flow. It's your inner child wanting to come out. God damn it, Veronica. You just hit me on the head, didn't you? I mean, seriously. She just like.
Dude, I get that every day from her, and I'm like, man.
No, but just everything about that little quote right there is if it's driven by passion, it'll flow. If it's your inner child wanting to come out and play, that's the part that she nailed the head on. It's like, yeah, exactly right. Your inner child wanting to come out and play. That's all it is. So, yeah.
That was cool.
So if those are the kind of quotes that you're putting in your product, yeah, I'm gonna buy them and I'm gonna sell.
Yeah, I'll send you the info. Yeah, it's like every day. I got it in my room, the little stance, and I put, each day when I wake up in the morning, I change the next phrase, like
it was so like intuitive, like anybody could just say, if you like you hear it's like, if you can believe, you can achieve. Yeah, okay, but all right.
The same pizzazz.
You actually gotta take action though as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you will like it's better than any goddamn fortune cookie you'll ever crack.
next thing on our list, fortune cookies.
Yeah.
Well, Geek, did you have any more questions before we
No, that's it
like
for me.
final,
That's
any
it.
final statements you want to make to Ian?
I'm glad and appreciated being able to meet you. I didn't even know there was a part 2 to the movie until Chronoz said it. And then he mentioned to me, and I watched the movie. I was doing some work and I was watching the movie. And around the end, it hit me, it hit you with the nostalgia. And I'd already been looking up. That's why I asked you about the 80s, because I was looking up and it feels like it was a simpler time. Back, when you didn't have so much stuff on the internet and everything. So I just want to say I appreciate meeting you and appreciate meeting everybody new that I haven't already met before. And definitely, I would love to do it again next year. I missed the last 2 years. I was around, but I wasn't around, if that makes sense. But happy holidays. I know you don't celebrate them that much like that either.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not a big Thanksgiving guy myself.
You can come out for that. So,
but I appreciate it.
Definitely. You too, man.
Mashed potato, dude. Any final something you want to ask? End statement.
Okay, I'll start with my question, and you can answer this pretty quickly. And I don't know if it's been asked before. I keep saying that, but I keep thinking like, what's a unique question I can ask? But then it's probably one you probably get all the time. You mentioned before Eric Estrada and LeBron James. Has there ever been any other big name actors or actors that are big in your books that were a big deal that you've met in person in your time in acting?
Yeah, there's been some. I haven't met like the really like inspiring ones, but I've met like really cool ones who I just think are just like just awesome. The one time this was pretty cool is I got to meet Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell.
And how I met him was cool. Is I had a friend by the name of Suzanne, and she used to date Ted Raimi, who's Sam Raimi's little
Oh yeah.
and we used to all hang out all the time. And I went over there one day and I was doing some work with Ted, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna go to this bar. Do you want to come with us?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So we drove down to this bar, and we're in the bar hanging out. It's in the afternoon, and Ted gets a phone call. He's like, "Oh, hang on for 1 second. Yep, hello? Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. All right, no problem. We'll see you when you get here. All right, bye." Hangs up the phone, goes, "That was Bruce." Now, I know the connection. So I'm going, "Oh, I wonder." And sure enough, about 15 minutes later, he comes walking into the bar with his wife, and it's him. And I just had kind of one of those, like, "Excuse me." So I go outside, I get on my phone, I call my friend Michael, who lives up in Florida, and he's like, he's one of those, Michael, this guy, my friend Michael Jacfarelli, he's one of those guys, he was a fan, and he quickly became like one of my best friends. And I told him, I'm like, "You never guess who's inside of me right now." So, and yeah, that was pretty cool, because
Absolutely.
he's he's just one of those actors. He's just done so many cool parts. So much fun to watch. And that was one of the moments. I got to meet Joel Hodgson, who created Mystery Science Theater 3000. So
Sweet.
if you're familiar with that, then yeah, that's pretty cool. That was pretty awesome, meeting him. But yeah, I mean, I haven't really got to meet too many people as far as like Terry Gilliam or Martin Scorsese or something like that. Then there are people that you meet as a kid, and then you realize who they were. And I met a director. I worked on, I was barely in the movie, so it doesn't even really count, but I got credit. And it was, so this is actually a two-parter. So we'll get there. And there was a movie called Crimes of Passion. And it was directed by a director by the name of Ken Russell. And if you don't know who that is, look at his name and look at what he's done. And he's done a lot. And he's done so many, and he's just this weird, like, bizarre. He's done so many bizarre things, and I didn't know who he was. And he made this movie, and Crimes of Passion is a very bizarre movie. He's not so much bizarre David Lynch, but he's bizarre, and like he likes to try to like push the envelope a little bit, and take it a little further and see where he can go. And this movie starred Kathleen Turner and Anthony Perkins. And it was Kathleen Turner played a prostitute, and Anthony Perkins played a Catholic priest who was battling, I guess, with his sexuality or whatever. And so I got invited to Ken Russell's wedding, and that's where I got to meet Anthony Perkins. And he officiated the wedding. So here's this bizarre Hollywood director marrying this woman, getting married by Norman Bates. So, and he was really nice. And I auditioned for, this was also going back to another question, a part that I wanted to get but never really happened, is this was in late 80s, and he was working on, they were developing a series, I guess it was called Ghost Rider, and he was going to be the star in it. And they were auditioning for the part of the son. They wanted to have a son. And the son, this was right after Beetlejuice came out. And so they modeled the son. He was supposed to be a more male version of like the Lydia Deetz character. And so I auditioned for it. And because he knew me from the wedding, when I auditioned, he was like, "Oh yeah, I know you. So I went for a call back, and then I remember I saw him somewhere else, and I was like maybe 13 at the time, and I was like, Mr. Perkins. He's like, "Hey, Ian, how you doing?" And I said, "What's any word on what's going on with the show?" And he's like, "I don't know, but we'll let you know. We got your contact information, So I was like, that was one's like that you always wanted to get, to be in a television series with Anthony Perkins, and then to play, the male version of Lydia Deetz from Theater. So, but it never happened. So, and then shortly after that, I think he passed away. So,
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, that's really interesting. And going back to what you said about Bruce Campbell, like him and Ted and Sam Raimi, they like work together a lot. Like Ted Raimi, because he's brothers with Sam, usually appears a lot of his movies, and then Bruce Campbell usually at least makes a cameo in a lot of Sam Raimi's movies. But yeah, that's really cool that like they keep in touch. It's cool when you see like those movies where it's like the same people working together, and you can just kind of tell that like they're passionate about the same thing. Especially too when it's like director and actor.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Well, that's also like with A Christmas Story.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, the shirt that I'm wearing is a studio company in Florida, and the guy who runs it, his name is Phil Gillen, and he was the son of Jeff Gillen, who played the Santa Claus in the movie. Now, Jeff was good friends with Bob Clark. Bob Clark, who was the director of the movie, was basically another person that Bob would always bring in his buddy Jeff to be in all of his movies. He was in, when Bob started off as a B-movie horror guy, he did Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. And he did Black Christmas, and Jeff was in those movies too. So it was the same thing. So yeah, that's what's really cool. That's another reason why I was excited. Is like when I met Ted Raimi, I was like, your brother's really cool about putting his friends in his movies. So, it's like, when do I get to meet him? And everything.
Is he looking for some new friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
To me, it's like as far as acting goes, I've sort of lost the hunger to be the star, but I love the idea of just doing the cameos, everything.
That's
so
cool.
I'm always willing to do those. That's really all I want to do as far as acting.
What's going on, Switchbit?
Hey, Switchbit. So if anybody's out there and they want to hire me for just a couple lines, do it.
Right.
I'm cheap, I'll work. If not, if it's a cool part, I'll do it anyways.
So I'll end off by saying, just to go back to what you were saying about getting your personal project out there. I have some of my own personal projects that I'd love to get out there someday, and I totally understand completely. Like you were kind of hitting the nail in the coffin on like the sort of feeling you have of like wanting to get it out there, where it's not it's not really about it becoming popular and it's like the next big thing. It's more of a you thing. You want to get it out there just to say, hey, like I made this, I put my heart and soul in this, and even though it's not popular, I did this for me.
Yeah, you're
people around me.
You're doing it for yourself, and when I say doing it for yourself, not in an egotistical, narcissistic sort of way.
No,
just to prove to yourself that you did it, you can do it. And that's really what it is. And a lot of times I think if that's what you're doing it for, then that's probably the best road to go. Yeah, I know it's a lot of fun to make money, and the money's good.
Yeah,
it is really good, and the fame, man. When you're on top, it's the best. Yeah, it's amazing. I can totally see why people want to be famous. But all in all, it's a lot of work that you have to live up to. I mean, look at these people that look at like Britney Spears and what she's going through now.
Yeah,
what she has to do. We all used to laugh at her like, she's stupid. Now she's like, I'm losing
my
mind. So now I feel so bad for her.
Yeah. The memes are hurting her feelings, I think. Those memes. When I seen her in Mortal Kombat, when somebody put her in the Mortal Kombat trailer.
When she was doing the Halloween.
Just stay away from the internet for a minute, Brittany.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I mean, if you can just do this for yourself, and I think that's what's great about YouTube, is that's what it allows us you to do.
Yeah.
It gives everybody a chance to go out there and be creative. People who were not ever going to get seen now can get seen. And let people pass it around. Then of course
the original phrase for YouTube was like broadcast yourself, and I think that has a lot more meaning than what people think at a first glance.
Yeah. And I don't know if some of you remember, but there used to be a thing called I can't remember it, but Wayne's World was a parody of it, and it was like one channel. I can't, because it had a certain name, but basically it was on TV. You go down to a television studio, you pay.
Public access, like a public
access television. Yeah, it used to be a thing, but nobody ever really watched it, because the problem is that you didn't know what was going to come on. You had to sit through just so much. I used to love it, because every once in a while, you get something on there, wasn't necessarily good, but was just like,
this is it. So we got.
Yeah.
Sometimes watching something terrible, it's like watching like watching a good B or C movie. Just kind of just you sit there and you want to watch it just to see what they're gonna do next.
There was this
love it.
She called herself the Queen Bee, and she dressed up like a bee, like this sexy bee, and she would just kind of give like the stories. She would just tell stories. It's like, this is what happened to me today, and like, oh my god, and you're just, this is the dumbest thing ever. I can't stop watching it, because she just had the guts to do it.
Yeah.
The thing, you watch stuff like that, and because you sit there and go, because sometimes when you come up with stuff, you get like a mental block, and you can't create content. You're like, I just don't know what to say. That person always has something to say. Never stop her.
It's stuff they probably shouldn't say, but they want to let everybody know about it, though.
Always got something to say, and you're just like, why can't I have that? It's like, oh yeah, that's right, because I have at least like half a brain, and I just I don't know. And then I remember there was this one. I had this girlfriend. She's never seen public access ever in her entire life, and I showed it to her, and it was just public access, and it's just somebody they just videotaped their cats, and they edited together this montage of just their cats like sleeping, looking inside, and it was the funniest thing we've ever seen, because it was like, how did this person think that this could possibly be entertaining?
Right.
It was, because you were just kind of laughing at it, but at the same time, you're like, I want to find it again, just because.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend at the time hates cats, yet she's sitting there watching these things on cats. So we were also stumped.
Well, that helps too.
Okay, yeah, that helps a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounded like a Stone story, but I was just gonna,
yeah.
I was,
You didn't wanna
you got the
jump the gun.
the Southern California roots talking about it, and you were talking about that. I was like, I'm not gonna call him
San
out.
Francisco, actually, so where we were at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole city, I think, was stoned.
I used to love that on watching like I was a big fan of watching the worst B horror flicks.
Yeah.
Where it was like there was this one I won't bore you to death with it, but it was called something like The Black Cat or something. And they literally didn't even try special effects. They were literally like pretending like this cat's attacking people, so they throw like a stuffed animal at the person.
Yeah.
But then they just had like stock footage of this cat kind of just rubbing up against the table. It's like it doesn't even look like it's like mean or evil. It's just a footage of a cat rubbing on things, and then they're putting all these growls. And I never laughed so hard on some of those type of movies. Like that's my favorite. Absolutely.
You watch something like that, and you sit there and think, like, are they doing that on purpose,
right?
Or do they really just not know?
Are they geniuses or just completely terrible?
Right. Because sometimes when you have to be like, if you're familiar with like Norm Macdonald, okay, the comedian.
Oh yeah.
He's really good at playing, like, he can play like the dumb guy really well. But he's really, really smart. And you have to be super smart to play the dumb guy that he does. You can't be that actual dumb. But then there are people that they just don't know and do these things, and they just end up being just these like priceless little, gems. Like there was that Tommy Wiseau character from The Room.
Yeah.
I don't know if it
tear me apart, Lisa.
Yeah.
It's considered to be like it was considered like one of the worst movies ever made, but yet it was so bad that it became this cult classic.
Yeah. Honestly, like the movie can be passed off as just like such a joke. I think the thing that kind of ruins it though is that like there's just like so many like uncomfortable sex scenes in that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen the whole movie, but like it's so funny to watch with people until like one of those uncomfortable sex scenes shows up, and then you're just all sitting there like, oh, can we like move on to like the funny dialogue again?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see Tommy Wiseau,
I don't know. See, that's the other thing about making, like, when you're making a movie, is there's a part of you that you think, oh my God, this is going to be awesome. And everybody has this energy like, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be, and I worked on a movie back in the 90s. It was called The Item, and I did the puppeteering for it. And time, man, we're making this movie. We thought this is going to be so awesome. We're making this cool little cult, underground, avant-garde movie, and everyone's going to be blown away. Like, what were they thinking when they made this? And it got premiered at Sundance. And before the first act, half of the audience walked out.
Dang.
They were just like, this is garbage. We're not even going to sit through this. They paid money for those tickets to get in, and they didn't even want to sit through the movie. And the only people that sat through it were aspiring filmmakers, because it was the first movie to be premiered at Sundance that was shot on digibeta instead of film. Because they shot it on digibeta and then had it transferred to 35 millimeter. And that was one of the reasons that Sundance was like, yeah, let's bring it in. And all the young filmmakers were like, we want to know more about this process, because that's a money saver right there. So that was it. But everybody was just like, what the hell were we watching? Was it all story, no plot, or all plot, no story? I don't know what's going on, And then at the end, we don't know. But if you can find it, I encourage you to give it a watch. It's called
Item.
That's all you need to do, and I'm the puppet. That's all you need to know. So,
what is it called?
The Item.
The Item.
So,
okay.
yeah. I don't know where you can find it. I don't even know if you can find it on Netflix or whatever. It's got to be somewhere. So, but I encourage you to watch it. It's one of those movies that if you watch it now, you might think, "Oh my God, what the hell is this?" But then after a while, yeah, it's like I totally get where they were trying to go with this, and you'll learn a lot about filmmaking because the director, that was his passion project, and he really put his heart and soul, and we worked our asses off to make that movie for no money, by the way. We worked 7 days a week, and I made no money off of that movie, but you know what, I had so much fun.
Yeah.
Except when you see all the people walking out of Sundance.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
You haven't got to the best part yet.
Yeah. That's like doing a YouTube video and you spend 5 to 10 hours doing it, and you look and it's got 2 views, and you're like, well, I thought this was good.
Yeah.
I felt that this was going to be the one, and then something that you're not expecting to do anything that. Yeah.
Somebody would sit there and go, hey, check this out.
Yeah.
That's all you want.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I have a YouTube channel and some of my old animations that I did. And I'm sitting there and it's like 20 views. And those things have been up there for like maybe almost 20 years. And I'm sitting there like, some guy goes, hey, watch me drink this bottle of spit.
Yeah, right.
Like, dude, broke the internet.
Yeah, 1.7 million.
Come on.
It sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly what it is.
Dude, I worked 3 days on that to make puke, and that took talent. And this is
You gotta work smarter, not harder.
Like catch that damn algorithm.
Work dumber, not harder. That's what that is.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. Some of the things that I had a friend I was working with on something. We were talking about Twitter and stuff, and he was like, just say the random most dumb shit on Twitter. He said that's gonna get you hit. So I just tried it one day because I always try to say some kind of super quote or something, and I started just saying what came to the top of my head, and well, that actually started getting more traction than me thinking about it.
Yeah,
which is it's kind of sad, but
it's crazy. I remember when I was in high school. That's what this reminds me of. There used to be a time, none of us will know because we weren't born yet, but as far as I knew, there was a time in high school when the most popular person was like on the football team, valedictorian, class president. They just were, just this alpha, and then the female was also like the alpha. Those are the most popular people. Those are the people that you looked up to in high school and wanted to be like, and you wanted to be their friends. When I was in high school, that was not the most popular person. It was the douchebag. The person who just, dude, fuck it, I don't give a shit,
Yeah. The guy that would just spill out random stuff.
Yeah.
To get a reaction out of people, or the person that would always argue with the teacher.
Anything.
Yeah.
Except just saying douchey shit.
Yeah.
And that's I kind of feel like what YouTube is. It's like you can be, have the best grades and the best talent and, captain of the football team. And it's like, dude.
Million views.
It's like, you're awesome.
Yeah.
No, that person's not awesome. It's funny.
Yeah.
That's so true. So true.
They're not awesome.
That's why I see the movie Idiocracy. Have you ever seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Greatest movie, dude. Greatest movie.
That's the new 1984. It's not even George Orwell. And Mike Judge is the new George Orwell.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Hey, we're living it right now, so it's perfect.
Very true.
Yeah. That Big Brother is a big dumbass.
A mashed potato dude. Was that your?
Yeah, that was it for me. I just want to say thanks again for having me on here. It's nice having a talk with you again, Ian. It's always nice to see you.
We'll see you next year.
Hell yeah.
DJC, you go for it.
I didn't have any final questions. I just want to say this is always fun, man. I was like third year we're doing. I was like, okay. I was like, gotta make room, not eat anything too heavy. Got to hold up the championship. No, but it is always cool hanging with you, and you always have some really awesome stories, a great take on everything, and I'm a huge, like, as a kid all the way till now, I'm such a huge Jim Henson fan and just everything that goes into puppeteering. So I cannot wait for any project that you have with puppets. So I'm excited for something like that.
I'm by myself right now, so I'm trying. I'm that's the thing. It's like, we do this next year. I really want to have something to show. So
that would be so cool. Yeah. But once again, Chronoz, thank you for having me on. It was awesome. Like I said, hanging out with everyone. I'm in every year. Just let me know.
And maybe next year we can come up with a different kind of contest, etc.
Yeah. I'll dig out all the clips that I didn't get out. Because I was looking for every clip, and I guarantee I will find it for next year. All that stuff. All right. So Ryan, did that get you? You did, right? Did you?
I did a question. I would just do a closing statement at this point. Ian, it's always nice to chat with you. We appreciate you coming on. When you talked earlier about you try to stay humble. Honestly, that's the big appeal of talking with you. Initially, it's like, oh, it's this guy that's in this big movie that we all know of. And then when you actually sit and talk with you, the appeal to come back and talk with you more is it's a normal conversation. It's not like, there are people that are big movie stars for good reason, but like still, I wouldn't necessarily want to sit and talk with them long term, depending on kind of how egotistical or what their personality was like. But you talk about being humble. You are a humble person. You are a down to earth kind of guy, and it's just nice to sit and talk with you. And so we appreciate that you keep coming back and giving us your time.
It's also because I haven't been separated from what everybody else has to go through. So I haven't really lived that actor privilege life. So that's the other thing. When people come and say, "Oh my God, it's so cool!" Like, dude, I'm gonna be going to work just like you after this. All right. But yeah, it's just you try to. I mean, there are there are times and like I always say, with fans and actors. I mean, there always has to be some sort of common ground. It's like, look, actors are out there, they're doing stuff. The one thing that this business does for everybody is it entertains you. But if whether it's movies or music or even sports, if it takes you out of your bad day that you're having, that's going to mean so much to that person. And if you're the person that's providing it, you now mean a lot to that person. And you may meet that person on the street and say, "Oh my God," and they're going to go, no, you don't speak. There's got to be some sort of common ground. Is that person might be having the same bad day that you might be having, and they just don't want to, they just want to be left alone. And it's just, you just kind of have to understand that if you meet somebody on the street and they're an actor, because they see all these, like, this person was rude, this person was mean. It's like,
they're just a person just trying to go about their day.
Too, but there are sometimes I've read stories about certain actors where somebody said, "Hey," they walked up to this actor and said, "Hi, how you doing? I'm a big fan." And they just kind of like, said thanks, and that was it. Like, they're people too. They, but there's got to be a common ground where if somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, I'm a really big fan," you don't just put your hand in their face and push them aside. You also have to understand that thank you so much. But if that's all you get out of them is a thank you, I appreciate that, and they walk off, that's probably the best you're going to get, in a situation. If you want to sit down and have a conversation, then come to Steel City Con this in Pittsburgh. That's what they do, is they will sit there and answer your questions and talk to you and take pictures, because now they're getting money. So, that's what it all comes down to. But, it's such a weird, thing, the whole idea of, celebrity and fan, because I've been both. I've been obviously the celebrity, and I've obviously been the fan. And I've met people, and I don't want to say their names, I'm not going to oust anybody, but I've met people who I've really liked and admired, and they've just been like, get the fuck out of my face. So, yeah, I get it too. And I always tell people, if you ever meet anybody in this business and you want to have a conversation with them, there's two things you can do. Yeah, either one, move to LA and work in a Starbucks.
Hey, that worked.
You will meet so many, and they will become your friends because they love their coffee. And or if you do meet somebody, don't talk to them about their projects. Find the most normal thing you can talk about, and they love that, and they will talk to you forever. And you might become their friend. So, you already know.
Thank you for that. That was it for I'll do my turn, and I want to say thank you again for this third opportunity that you inspired us for a third year, and you keep on doing. It just, I still can't believe the opportunity that you've given us, and it's just kind of like, it's always great hearing your stories and getting to know you more each year, and we have to keep, if next year's it's good and I bug you again, I'll be like, hey, we could do it, we'll get everything out, we'll talk, and I hope that we can move on from there. But again, for everything that you have to provide, again, you from the 1983 to 2022, your projects coming up. I'm kind of lost here, a little bit. It's like you're excited, and I'm just thankful, for everything. To have this moment to share with all you guys here, and I want to thank everyone who DJ Game Studios, Mashed Potatoes, for Jim who stopped by, Tisha, Miss New, Ryan, Geek, Justin, and Veronica Hernandez, of course. And it's just it's great, to have these moments with you. And I do want to say something about my friend. Looking her up, knowing her back in the high school years, I didn't know until it's like she hid a secret from me. You look her up on, what do you call that? The IMDb thing where you search
International Movie Database.
Yep.
She's under visual effects. I'm bragging. She's probably like, well, why are you doing that? Under visual effects with Star Trek Into Darkness, Hansel and Gretel, The Avengers, John Carter, Captain America, Thor. I'm like, what the? And Titanic, Jurassic Park. She is an awesome person. I'm just letting you guys know. And either way, I want to ask her for her to have the final statements for the night. And after she gives the final statements, and we'll just head out. I'll play the outro, and then everyone just kind of you guys want to stay after and say goodbyes, or just goodbye right when the outro ends out. You guys can close out. Ian, I'll text you afterwards, privately, and to give you Veronica's information if you want to talk to her about those cards or so. And or either way, let's see. She has what she's saying here. Follow your passion and be true to yourself. So it was a great chat.
All right.
Thank you for that, Veronica. Other than that, Ian, do you have any final statements?
No. Don't.
Good.
Have fun. Be good to one another.
Yeah.
Usual stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, these days are here and there. Like I was saying, I go through my stuff, but you got to keep on going and just keep on moving forward. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So, all right, guys, this is Chronoz here, and thank you again, Ian, and everyone else who joined us on the chat and on here. And we'll see you guys until next time. and we are out of here. Take care. Thank you.
Merry Christmas,
everyone.
Happy holidays.
Peace.
Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time. Yes, the most wonderful